You live in a different world. You live in a different world.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hopefully, y'all can hear me clearly. What's up, Rico? I just watched the video you tagged me in by Jane Elliott. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Um, if anything, it just reminds me how everything is connected. And once we start talking to each other and work through the fear that the system has put in place for us to be fearful of everybody else, that keeps everybody from being human beings and being treated with such dignity. Um, Once we face that, I think we'll be able to manifest the level of humanity that we desire to see. Y'all can hear me good? Okay. Y'all might hear a little something in the background, y'all. It's snowing here in Michigan. Okay. So I had to pull out my trusty motherfucking dusty ass heater. Um so you might hear that in the background. Girl, it is what it is. I love y'all, but I love myself more, no shade. Um but we are here today to give commentary on Ron Vugada's latest episode of his Woke and Broke podcast that he is doing. Um, Before we get started, I just want to reiterate this, and I've said this in my other commentaries about um, Ron. My commentary is in no way, shape, or form meant to denigrate or to have any sort of vitriol or hatred or any sort of malice in my commentary. I don't know Ron personally to hate him. I don't at all. Okay? If anything, I feel, and I could be wrong because I have been told that it does give the illusion that I'm trying to be aggressive and trying to be combative. But at the same time, I want someone to listen. I want him to listen to what I'm saying for him to decide for himself. And I believe that's how the fear is working, especially now with the confusion. And when I mean confusion, I mean the consistent arguing and going back and forth with each other as opposed to listening to each other, trying to respect each other, trying to find a common ground with each other. They don't want that. The powers that be don't want that. They want us to continue to argue with each other, to yell and scream at each other, to judge each other, to continue to, on all sides, feed into the fear narrative about the other person. But that's why I feel that I'm doing what I can to help bring clarity, to bring context, to bring nuance to the conversation. So, with that being said, Ron, I want y'all to go ahead and go over to his YouTube channel. I want y'all to go ahead and watch the video for yourself. Please do not send any sort of hate his way. That's the thing that I don't want y'all to do. I don't want y'all to send hate. I don't want y'all to send anything. I mean, share how you feel, be honest, but don't go in it with the intention of hating someone else, because hate is what's got us in this problem today. Hate is what's got us in this situation today. Okay? So with that being said, y'all, we're going to give our commentary and kind of break down Ron's latest video upload. But before we do that, let me go ahead and get this together. Yes, get this together. Come on, sucker and succotash. Okay, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, we're going to give that. Comment, we're going to give that. News reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing, okay? So with that being said, I want y'all to take that into account. Also, Ron, if you happen to listen, I don't know if you're going to watch, but if you happen to listen, I give you full permission to use any of my videos in reference to your talking points. I give you that because I'm not trying to have no fear-based conversation. I want you to be able to speak how you honestly feel in reference to how other people are speaking. I know you mentioned that you were banned on TikTok because of the viewpoints that you have. And I know there were other people who were not willing to have conversations with you because of said points. But I'm an individual that's saying I'm willing. I'm willing to have that conversation. I'm willing to help bring context and nuance to all of this. But I think Ron kind of got a little fed up with his treatment on TikTok and just in regards to his newfound political viewpoints. And I want y'all to hear what we're going to hear for ourselves, exactly what that is. Let me look at the comments real quick. Facts, until then, people will continue to be in enslavement. Yeah, that's why I said we have to talk about these things. It is going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be uncomfortable for a lot of the other people who may have supported the oppression willingly or unwillingly, consciously or unconsciously. Like, we need to start having these real deal ass conversations so that we can heal from it. Us ignoring it, us acting like it never happened, us trying to pick up alternative facts that don't really support the overall goal of removing these lines of racism and lines of division. Like, until we start addressing those things head on and working through it with love, we'll never get to where we want to be. They want to continue to act like zoo animals in the field. Not the zoo animals. All right, y'all. So we go ahead and cut this music off. Okay. And we're going to get into the video. Hope y'all ready. Let's get in. Now, once again, this BubzDaGawd, so I will be pausing throughout the commentary. That's why I kind of want to get it over with now. I had it scheduled for 4 o'clock. I was like, no, let me go ahead and get this out the way because I have another live at 7, which I'm going to be speaking with Aries, where we're going to be talking about the intersections of blackness regarding Afro-Latino and how racism is happening in an entirely different country. So that's going to be a very interesting conversation. I hope that you guys join us for that. But anyway, let's get into Ron's latest video.
The video about 2 weeks ago. Look at the shirt. And it was a video about me coming out conservative, Republican, and how I told the story on what led me to be Republican. I had to take these like 2 weeks or so to really fully process all the bullshit that I've been getting from people. I want to tell you guys something that's very passionate on my heart. I don't understand who the hell made the homosexuals of America the end all be all. The same homosexuals who glorify bullshit that's on reality TV, baddies, all of this. I've been called so many different names. I've been called stupid, coon, Uncle Tom. I've been called all kinds of bullshit from these people who lack common sense. I think that is the funniest thing ever, that there are people who seriously do not like me simply because I don't agree with their lifestyle.
Now, I don't believe, or I feel like you shouldn't be judged based off. How can I say this? You should have the right to be able to speak how you want to speak and share the information that you want to share. But when the verbiage, when the words that you use are kind of like denouncing the humanity of somebody else, I think that becomes a problem in the issue. I think when you start othering someone's experience as opposed to humanizing that experience or trying to educate yourself on that experience, I think that is where the issue comes into play. And the same energy that you're feeling in reference to the hate and just the level and the intensity of people disagreeing with you and going below the belt, calling you a coon, calling you racist, calling you all these other type of derogatory things. That's how they feel. That's how they feel, and that has been a lot of LGBT people's experiences. I understand, especially with TikTok and some of these other social media sites. You know, this whole technology stuff is very new to us over here in the West. So of course, because we're coming into this newfound information, we're going to believe that this stuff just, happened just, as a matter of fact because of certain things. Like, no, this has been stuff that's been happening. Hey, Style by Stevie. Hey, make sure y'all go over to her platform on Instagram. She does videos, interviews. She did an interview with me on Wednesday, so make sure y'all go over there and check her out. Hey, 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 hey. But a lot of LGBT people have had those experiences before. Like, this is not anything new. This is not anything new. This is something that's been happening to LGBT people, particularly trans. Now, Ron's commentary is going to be pretty most towards the trans community. His I guess what he is struggling to understand is coming in reference to, excuse me, is his commentaries in reference to a lot of trans experiences. So I'm glad that we have some people in the comments here who are part of the trans experience, which I'm so glad, because I would love for y'all to chime in and to verify this, because once again, the way that Ron is speaking is kind of like a blanketed term, like a blanketed broad generalization. It's kind of like, well, if these people doing it, that must mean shit, all of them are doing it. So that is the destructive part. That is the demonstrative part. Okay, and we're going to get into some of the viewpoints of, I'm not going to say just Ron, but just the political party in general. In general, that's why I've tried my best to extend an olive branch to have a conversation. And I think somebody said it on one of my posts about Ron, who he says he actually agrees with Ron, but the way that he is going about it is leaving a lot of people confused, especially a lot of people who knew you before you made such a radical change. My thing is, we're asking you to explain that change, and if that change is beneficial to you and it's made you better as a black man, as a same gender loving man, and you feel like that knowledge that you have come into would benefit everybody else, why not share it? You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm glad that you found an identity within yourself that makes you feel great. But your communication about how that happened has failed in reference to your delivery. And no tea, no shade, but all facts. It kind of seems like you're picking up these viewpoints from other people as opposed to taking these viewpoints and customizing it for your experience so that you can help other people customize it for their experience. Okay? Let's continue with a little bit more, y'all.
don't agree with how they decided to take the whole month of June and sexualize it for all of our youth, all of our kids, all of our young adults. People like me, older people, have to see this bullshit Pride Month flag and then have to just bow down to it simply because, just like black.
You don't have to bow down to it. That's what I want people to understand. Like, I don't believe you should force anybody to do something that they don't want to do. If you believe that Pride Month is of the devil, if you believe that Pride Month is Hell Month, you have the absolute right to do that. But being a person from the community, once again, living the experience, which, I'm not going to sit up here and say that there isn't any sexualization going on, but it's sexualization all around the spectrum, not just LGBT. They're talking about one particular month where people can go out into the world and express their freedom in a way that might be unique or strange or weird to other people. But imagine those same LGBT people that had to be sexualized growing up, sexualized in life, as far as the heterosexual experience. Again, I grew up in the 90s, saw nothing but heterosexual television shows, cartoons. My mother and father expressed heterosexual love in front of each other, heterosexual movies, heterosexual just outside of myself. There was nothing there to give me a reference for me to understand. For me to understand who I am. So now we live in a world where Pride Month come. I mean, people are finding the strength and walking in their truth in a world that does not support them. Because even though you have these Pride Months, understand there are people in the world, okay, who do be on the sidelines with they low key pitchforks is what it seems like. They're picket signs. They're "you're going to hell," nothing redemptive, nothing loving, nothing supportive, just straight up fire and brimstone because of your choice to be free in this experience. Look at some of y'all comments real quick. Can y'all hear me good? Is my heater in the background making too much noise? Cause if so, cause I do have some blankets and shit, y'all. So my advice to them would be get out of the sunken place. We cannot move forward if we have our own kind and black skin being oppressors. And that's why I made the documentary that I did, which I want y'all to please go watch if you haven't seen it yet. And if you have seen it, please share it. But it's to bring forth information. Like, we need to know history. History is not a bad thing. History is not a bad thing at all. History is there for us to build a foundation on and to do it differently and do it better and do it, do it differently. It's 2022. I don't have the patience to explain to anyone of the LGBTQI plus community or about Republicans. That's understandable. And where you don't have patience for, trust me, there are people who do have the patience. What you won't do, trust me, there are people in the world that God will set in place to do on your behalf, okay? And that's fine. And I think that's some of the issues, too, that I think people don't understand. Just like how black people, low-key, are tired of explaining racism, even though they've been experiencing it. And now we're seeing that the LGBT community is speaking about it. Women's campaign is speaking out about it. Like, a lot of people are tired of explaining themselves, especially to people who are not willing to listen. It's one thing when it's an individual that is willing to listen, that wants to know, that wants to understand. That's completely different. But when you have somebody who is blatantly, I'm not saying Ron is, I'm not accusing Ron of that, but just as far as for a lot of people experiences, for people to literally just completely ignore their experience, and then to even go a step further to devalue the experience. Because some of the verbiage that Ronnie uses is not a fruitful and life-giving one, especially for someone who says that they are part of a religion where God and Jesus is love. Okay, y'all. And I just saw that too. There was literally a mass murder last night in a gay nightclub. That part, Ron in Colorado, made me think about Post all over again. Sex sales was a phrase before the gays were even allowed to say that. That's true. Yes, that's the oldest profession in the book. They then took it and made a job out of it. Anyway, let's continue.
Black people claim they are oppressed, these LGBT transformers are also claiming oppression. I want to talk about this whole oppression bullshit. So it is okay. Well, let me go back. Before, I said in my first video coming out conservative, I said that I was having these conversations with the LGBT, different LGBT transformers, and I wanted to just understand and get to know my own community because I'm in Alabama. I also don't associate with a lot of people, so I'm in my own little bubble. Now, tell me why in that conversation they told me that men can have children, and me being a biological man, I know that I cannot have kids. That's when I said in the video, I checked out of the conversation, I cannot subscribe to this bullshit. Somehow, me saying that has led to LGBT transformers, people who knew me, people who just know me from the goddamn internet, to say all these type of things about me. Now, mind you, I understand that I'm calling out a lot of these mental illness people as being men in wigs. I understand that. It's fair game. It's fair game on being radical. Who has the most radical words? The difference between my radical and the left's radical is that my radical makes sense, and you have to talk to them in their own language. They're just defending senseless bullshit, and they're just defending people who praise their bullshit and behind their back taking money and taking lives and opportunities just to profit. You know, people think that, oh, we have all this medical care for transformers. It's still not enough, but we are having medical care for transformers. How about this? Transformers are only getting that medical care because these doctors do not give a fuck about if you live or not. They just want that money. It's just a free money grab to them.
Okay, so if it's a money grab, no shade. Ain't the Republican Party all about money? Isn't it the Democrat girl? Andrew Caldwell, back up, bitch. I know it's Sunday, girl, but goddamn. The Democratic Party is about money. We live in a capitalistic system. And I think the party that you support supports capitalism to make money off of people. That's the problem. They're making money off of oppressed people. Now, when it comes down to these scientists, again, and that's why history is important. That's why education is important. I know he mentioned earlier he's tired of LGBT people being the end all be all of intellect. Well, I mean, if people did more of their research and studied to show themselves approved, maybe they would end up to be up on that level. I mean, it's just like how they say black people have to work twice as hard. Imagine LGBT people of color having to work 3 times as hard. So they have to do that. So going back to these doctors, there are strict regiments, there are strict criteria put in place in reference to the trans experience. These doctors understand that it's a mental, psychological, and low-key spiritual experience. There are some people who do feel that they were born in the wrong body. And these scientists, I don't know if where help educate me, maybe, I don't know. Where is the information? Where is this overwhelming, just objective amount of information that supports the fact that there are children that are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old literally being rushed to a fucking operating room to have their anatomy removed? Like, don't you understand that they have to go through years of therapy? They have to go through counseling. They have to go through and make sure that mentally, emotionally, psychologically, this is what they want to do. Like, there is a constant check-in with these individuals that's having this experience. And these doctors are even learning from the experiences of other people, which is why they can do what they do. Because they actually took the time out to listen to people. Now, I know you said something about men having babies. I'm going to agree with you. 2 biological males cannot come together and procreate to create life. But a trans man can have a baby. I'm going to say that again. 2 biological males cannot come together and goddamn rub dicks against dicks, okay? Dicks wars in this bitch, okay? And thus, from that friction, that sword play, a baby is now conceived. But trans men can have babies. Now, I don't know if that, once again, you said you had this conversation with LGBT people. Is there a live somewhere that we can go see this for ourselves? Is there anywhere where this information is documented to support your claims and what you believe? Are there any TikTok videos or Instagram videos that you can send me in reference to me understanding? Because again, I'm trying to understand. I'm not making commentary to be like, oh, Ron's stupid, Ron dumb. I ain't never said nothing like that. I am talking about your talking points. So my thing is this: is where where did that information come from? Because I'm pretty sure there are other trans people that understand. Like when people say they're trans, they understand they're trans. For example, T.S. Madison is T.S. in the name. She's owned her trans experience. And I'm pretty sure she would agree with you that two men cannot come together and have a baby. We know this. We know this. So again, could you break that down a little bit so that I can understand, just for my sake? Because I just want to know, just for me. Let's continue forward, y'all.
I have gay people come on my Twitter and shit talking about, oh, your face is breaking out. If you guys go back to the video, you'll see how I had like pimples all over my face. And I still do. But if you go back through my Instagram posts where I post videos, not just face tuned ass pictures that y'all be posting. Face be broke the fuck out. Filters be on.
I ain't gonna hold you. Baby, Ron ass was low-key reading, bitch. He said, hold on, bitch. Even though my ass is part of the Republican Party, girl, I will cuss you hoes out like a Democrat, bitch. Now, I don't support the political system anymore. After the information that I've learned, girl, this system ain't gonna work for us, girl. They gonna find a way to flip it, rub it, flip it, mix it, and rub it down, girl. But he low key, let's bring that back, girl, because he said, hold on, bitch, y'all talking about my pimples. Just because I love God don't mean that I won't smite you goddamn demonic ass homosexuals. Okay, let's hear that part again, because Ron was low key reading, bitch. Let's hear that again. Listen.
Not just face tuned ass pictures that y'all be posting. Face be broke the fuck out. Filters be on 100%, and y'all do not care to think that people will know that it's a filter. We know that you don't look like that in real life. I'm not one.
Girl, that sound like a voiceover, girl. I know that's right. He sounded like he was editing that shit, bitch, and he said, hold on, wait a minute, bitch. Now that I see this bitch, girl, let me go ahead. And that's the thing, like, I'm not mad about that. Like, we need people to be honest. I think the reason why a lot of people support the Republican Party is because they feel like they don't have to be politically correct. And I'm done with political correctness, for real, for real. If we're going to have real conversations, you can't have a real conversation with being politically correct, because being politically correct is just these self-enforced ways to, like, hey, don't say what, don't you dare say it. It's like, no, bitch, say it so we can deal with it. That'd be the problem. It'd be so much tension going on. Be so much tension. And no tea, no shade, girl. I can be honest, girl. Ron still fine, bitch. With pimples and all, still fine, girl. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Just because a motherfucker got a difference of opinion. Now the gays they gonna say some crazy shit, because once again, a lot of gay people have been hurt, have been used and abused, and haven't found any foundation of self-love in themselves. So instead of just addressing the viewpoints that you're making, they want to just attack you because they felt attacked. Okay? They felt attacked by what you were saying. Like, some of the words that you're saying can be deemed as disrespectful. Like, how are you going to be able to have a conversation with somebody if you calling them out their name and demeaning their experience? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Let's continue to get into this, because I need to drink some of this damn tea. Hold on.
To give a fuck about what people have to say or what people have to think. I mean, I'm a black gay Republican. I don't think it becomes any more fearless than me and other black people like me. But to say that I am breaking out because I know that I'm doing my people wrong, let's talk about something that you probably never heard.
Not they saying the ancestors then put a goddamn spell on his goddamn proactive care. No.
of. Let's talk about adapalene gel. Let's talk about different gel. Let's talk about how you wouldn't know any of the shit that I'm using or the things that I'm doing in my life because I actually know how to keep some things private and in the four walls of my home. I don't need people knowing that behind closed doors I'm fucking men.
But they don't. Let me tell you something about me. I'm not having sex by choice. Keywords by choice. I'm choosing not to have sex. But if I'm out in public and my sexuality is expressed, that's where everybody's mind goes to. That's why when you talk about two men coming together and procreate, that's the same thing that they say about gay people. Oh, why you gay? I mean, y'all can't make a baby. Oh, why you fucking a man in the ass? Why just not fucking women in the ass? Like, it goes straight to the sexualizing. You're talking about we sexualizing society, but society already sexualized us because as soon as somebody gay, what's up, Aries? As soon as somebody gay, as soon as somebody lesbian, as soon as somebody bi, as soon as somebody transgender, as soon as somebody's asexual, as soon as somebody is not heterosexual, these individuals are reduced to nothing but sexuality. There's been plenty of black barbershop conversations where when the topic of gay comes up, there are a few certain themes that are always thrown around. And the oh, do what you do behind closed doors argument. Okay, okay, help me understand, cause maybe it's me. I don't know, maybe it's me. Where are there like a group of gay people fucking in front of elementary schools? Are there like a group of people like bussing it the fuck down in front of a church? Where are these overwhelming amount of gay men out here just, I mean, bussing it wide the fuck open on some R. Kelly status? Let me scope out the McDonald's parking lot after school's done. I'm just saying, help me understand, Ron. Where is that at? Again, if you have any information that you feel would be beneficial to me, let me know so I can do my work. Cause I don't know everything, and I don't act like I know everything. I'm not saying you are, but I'm just talking about me. I don't act like I know everything. So if there's some things that I'm missing, if there's some context clues that I'm not understanding, help me understand, please. Especially if it's going to benefit my life. I'm all for information that's going to make me a better person, so that BubzDaGawd can experience his best life. Okay? Let me look at some of y'all comments. We already had that one. Procreation doesn't make a man or a woman. I ain't gonna put the other comment. I'm gonna be nice. Just listen to how he talks. He regurgitates everything he's read on books and online. Clearly has no real life experience. And I mean, I don't know. You know, Ron is still same gender loving. So that's what I'm saying. Like these, I wish that there was. It don't have to be me. If there's somebody else who has the same mindset as me that would ask the same questions that I would ask him, like that's why I would like to know more about his stance. Like what inspired this stance? What has changed your life? Because you sharing this information with us. It would have been one thing if you would have kept your political affiliation and what you believe private, and then it came out and then you had to defend that. Then I understand. But you got on your platform where you have close to 100,000 subscribers and told us why you are now a Republican and all of these radical ideas and this radical shift. And all we're asking, or at least I'm asking, is how did you get from where you were to where you are now, and how did it make sense in between time? So that you can help us. Because once again, if you know any information that's going to better me, let me know. Let me know.
I don't need people knowing that behind closed doors I support men wearing wigs, tricking on men You know what? I don't have to get into all the bullshit that the LGBT. I don't even have to get into all the bullshit that the LGBT members are going through, and not all of them, a lot of them. I don't have to keep reinstating all of the mental illness that a lot of the LGBT people are going through. They think that coming at me in this fierce problematic manner is going to make me want to coincide with them even more. But let's please understand that I fight fire with fire. I am a Christian. I love God. But what I'm not going to do is let some demonic beings with mental illness issues sit here and try to tell me that they're the most intelligent people on earth. There's so much education that you're missing out on. There's so much that you're lacking as far as LGBT transformer awareness. We're so oppressed. You want to know who's actually oppressed? Those women.
Before we go into the oppression, girl, a part of my spirit be like, girl, why do I? It's a small part of me be like, girl, Ron ass is trolling, girl. Ron ass is trolling. That a part of me be feeling it like, girl, you was trolling. And no tea, no shade. Just factually speaking, objectively speaking, you can go back to his channel and see this. Ron has been known to have done some very interesting, crazy ass stuff. Nigga ate Tide Pods. Nigga did all type of crazy stuff. He even admitted that when his YouTube channel, there was a point in time where his YouTube channel was popping the fuck off. I mean, popping the fuck off. So a part of me is like, nigga, I don't know if you doing this as another motherfucking ploy, but I swear, if this is a publicity stunt, nigga, I'm going to cash app you. If this is a publicity stunt, I promise you, you need to be in somebody's movie. Somebody need to hire you because you are making it very convincing. If this is all just a ploy to just troll and stuff, I promise you, Ron, I'm going to be like, kudos, nigga. Yes, yes. I'm not even a bottom, nigga, but don't test me. That motherfucking acting you did, shit. Let me go against my top nature and motherfucking fall into the gay agenda and give you some booty, nigga. Ah, shout out to this weed. This weed good. And Ron, I know you still smoke weed. I know you still smoke weed. I know you still smoke weed. I know you do. Especially after all the shit that these people have been saying to you, which I don't agree. Like, I don't I don't I feel like conversations can be a lot better if you actually listen to the other person. And we live in a world now where everybody wants to be heard, but at the same time, we don't want to hear nobody else. Like, my experience is exclusive. What I feel like, no. And shout out to Rico, because Rico sent me this clip with Jane Elliott. Shout out to her, because I love me some Jane Elliott, where she said, if you want people to treat you better in the future, treat people good in the past. I mean, in the present. Sorry. In the present. Show up in the present. Be nice. That's what I'm saying. Like, no tea, no shade, girl. Ryan, you took a screenshot of my first video and you put it on social media saying that, somebody giving a 3-hour opinion about me, unwarranted opinion or whatever. But why is it easier for you to have these arguing match and screaming matches and reading matches and goddamn roasting matches between other individuals as opposed to coming to somebody who is trying to have a grown, mature conversation, somebody who does have emotional intelligence, somebody who actively listens, like somebody who is willing to agree with you when you're right, someone who's willing to see your side of the story. These people aren't. They hear trigger words just like you hear trigger words and then get triggered by the words. As opposed to having a conversation with somebody who can transcend that whole triggering thing. Because if we're having a respectful conversation, that's cool. But I'm just feeling like, I feel like all of your questions can be answered if you were to talk to individuals like myself. But I feel like there's a fear to have the conversation with these type of people, because if you have a conversation with people like myself, maybe a lot of the things that you believe because you say it over and over again may come out to not be true. I don't know. And we do live in an era now where everybody is afraid to be wrong. Where we have to start learning that it's okay to be wrong because you simply did not know. And now that you know better, you're going to what? Do better. So let's continue further with the commentary.
Women overseas who have to wear those things over their head and over their, well, not their face, maybe their face. They have to wear these hijabs, or I don't know what they're called. So uh, I'm not also trying to be someone else that I'm not. So it's not my place to know what all of these things are called. Just like these men who are all of a sudden women, don't know shit about a menstruation, don't know shit about a period, don't know shit about ovulating, but they want to act like they know so much. So
Okay, let's break that down. I guess this is the part where the homosexuals that know it all start talking shit. And the reason why maybe they know it, quote unquote, know it all, is because they actually listen to other people and try to understand them. I don't know. That's just me. No shade. No shade. Male and female is the biology, right? Male and female is the sex, the anatomy signed at birth. Man and woman are social constructs. If what you were saying was so similar, it would be the exact same way all around the world. But all around the world, there are different expressions of what a man and what a woman is. Now, America might try to give this illusion of this idea of what the American woman looks like. I don't know. To where you actually have biological females enhancing their bodies now to fit this mold of what a woman looks like, which is why there's so many BBLs happening to fit into this narrative of a woman. Again, you have trans people who are owning their transness. Who, in the words of T.S. Madison, got titties at the top and got some dick at the bottom. They understand that they're not trying to be a female. Yes, trans women cannot ovulate. Yes, trans women cannot conceive children within their bodies. Yes, we understand that. I'm trying to understand, where is the fear of these people that are having another expression of womanhood that's being taken away from actual women? I don't know. And the fact that me and you is up here, two gay men talking about women's issues and not being women, I don't know. Maybe we both can't speak to that, the totality of that, like a woman can, or a trans woman can. But I guess the question that I would ask is this, and once again, Ron, I give you permission to use my video. I give you permission to use my content in response. Ain't no copyright. I ain't flagging shit. I guess the question I want to ask you is this: what do you believe about a trans woman's experience? How do you feel like that is reducing the experience of a cisgendered woman? What, your personal belief, what do you feel personally that trans women are doing that are trying to erase females, biological females, from the earth? Let's continue, y'all.
as I was saying, just like these women overseas, whether they're in Dubai or Afghanistan, I don't really know, because I'm in America and I love America and I focus on American issues. Just like those women overseas who have to wear all of these head wraps, these body wraps, all of that, they're the oppressed ones. Just like these real women in America, the biological women, which whom you, a transformer, came out of, they're the real oppressed ones. Just because you put on a wig, a makeup, and nails, and people do not want to let you walk into a women's restroom that may have little girls in it, people don't want to validate that.
Let's speak to that or whatever. Again, where is this fear coming from about trans women using the bathroom? Where is this fear about trans women using the bathroom? Where Because once again, are you seeing what is your viewpoint of trans women, of them entering to the bathroom? Again, it's always the sexualizing part, and then there has to be children sexualized in it. Where is this overwhelming amount? Now, I ain't gonna hold you. Are there some people in the world who probably do take advantage of some of these trans experiences as far as the progress and try to use it to their own benefit? Yeah. I believe there are some men who do dress up in women's the illusion of a woman that is a predator, that has the intention of being a predator. They're not trans. They're not living the trans experience. They're hijacking this whole a right for trans to be, to exploit that. But that would be isolated cases. I want you to send me the information, because again, I could be ignorant. And if I'm ignorant, I'm asking you, and it's on a Sunday, so it's a holy day. You say you're a Christian, so I know this is God's day. So here it is, a sinner is asking you, the saved one, give me the information so that this sinner can be converted to being saved. Giving my life to white Christ, girl. Where's the information? Please help me and help us in the comments, because I guess all the sinners here, hey Aries, Sinner Jose, Sinner Styles by CV, Sinner Rico, Sinner Naries, and some of the sinners that's in the bushes listening right now, girl, you sinful homosexuals, can you please help us? Because I'm trying to get into heaven. Okay, even if it's the slums of heaven, even if it's the ghetto of heaven, even if my wings got daytime minutes, girl, I still want to be in the building. Or at least be close to the gate on the other side. Help me. Okay? Let's continue.
Idea for you doesn't mean that you're oppressed. What oppression really is how LGBT people are constantly attacking women. And even at this point, people with common sense, fuck being straight, fuck being gay, just people with common sense. Because even now I'm off the market of being praised as some LGBT influencer, because I took that LGBT bullshit off and realized that it does not align with Christian values. It does not align with helping our little kids grow and to become doctors and lawyers. In these conversations that I mentioned in my first conservative coming out video, I mentioned how I was having these conversations with people that were educating me on LGBT politics, things like that, identity politics overall, things like that. They did not want to accept my argument on how, but don't you guys feel like there should be more to the LGBT community than a sexual fetish? Don't you guys feel like there should be more doctors, lawyers, maybe not pediatricians, because I don't want those transformers around my kids, but don't you think that you guys
Did you just hear that? Did you just hear that kind? And that's my old chair. I didn't fart. Let's go back. What did he say? What did you say, Ron? Let's go back a little bit more. Let's go back a little bit more. Because it was like a little edit cut. I don't know where the hell that came from. It kind of scared me. I was like, did my shit get shut down? Not niggas report my shit. Let's listen again. Hold on.
LGBT politics, things like that, identity politics overall, things like that. They did not want to accept my argument on how, but don't you guys feel like there should be more to the LGBT community than a sexual fetish? Don't you guys feel like there should be more doctors, lawyers, maybe not pediatricians, because I don't want those transformers around my kids, but don't you
Did y'all catch that T? Now let's talk about it. You said, aren't shouldn't these people be tired of being sexualized? Yeah, it ain't just LGBT people being sexualized. It's women being sexualized. It's children we all being sexualized. It's not just one particular group of people. Secondly, you said, where are some of the gay doctors and lawyers and politicians and all this stuff? They're there, but y'all don't support them because they gay. There are literally gay politicians, gay doctors. There are gay There are gay people among you. I'm sorry for y'all. I know it's terrifying. Oh my God, they here. But gay people have been here and will always be here, just like everybody else is here. We're all having this collective experience together. Girl, it's just to me. There's fear. There's fear there. There's fear. There's fear. And on top of that, gays can be everything except anything close to children. Why is that? And that be the gag, because if we let's take it a little personal, not with you, but just just a general personal experience in the black community, girl. They would know the person in the family who is on their goddamn. My mind's telling me no, but that little body, and I'm talking about Ari Spears version, okay? Ari Spears version explicit. Who the family will allow them to come to the family reunion, allow them to come to the Friday fish cookout at the church, allow them to come around for Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of these other events, but then say, oh, he can't stay around the kids though. He gotta go. He gotta go. Don't leave Wesley around your kids. He's still getting the plate. Matter of fact, they getting 2, 3 plates. Okay? He getting to be around the conversation. He still get to talk to people, but he's still in the house. But God forbid one of the gay cousins come with his boyfriend. Or God forbid one of the lesbian cousins or nieces come with their girlfriend. Or God forbid, the worst of all in the black community, God forbid, here comes the quote unquote y'all would call nigga in a wig coming to goddamn dinner and want us to call them this name when we've been calling them this name this whole time. That's why being open-minded is important. Because one thing that I think we all have to realize, in my opinion, is not just our experience. Yes, our experience is unique because we're having it, so it's a unique experience. We're having the experience through our lens, through our expression on planet Earth in this life. But when you become self-aware and then become more aware of self, you start realizing how there are other people who are having different experiences. And that's why I feel like it's fear-based, because it'd be like, damn, for a lot of people, here it is, I'm following what's being told to me. I'm doing what I'm told. I'm following the flow of everybody else. But meanwhile, here are these other group of people who who are not following the flow, who are going against the grain, and they're still surviving. How does that work? How is it that I'm doing what I'm quote unquote supposed to do in this country, in this society, to make me desirable and to give me a chance? But meanwhile, there are other people who are being themselves and are getting blessed in such ridiculous ways, to where low key, I feel like it's a little bit of jealousy. No shade. No shade. And that's on both parts. That's on the Republican and Democratic part. That's on the white and the black part. That's on the straight and the gay part. What I want to understand is, what is the problem with equality? Because it seems like people don't, a lot of people on both sides and on all spectrums, not all of them, but there is sprinkled about, that don't want equality. They want supremacy. They want to be able to sit in a position of power to where nobody is above me except for God, and motherfuckers can't even find him. Don't even know who God is in their life. Not saying Ron, but I'm saying a lot of people in positions of power. Matter of fact, hold on. Hey Siri, define supremacy.
Supremacy means the state or condition of being superior to all others in authority, power, or status.
Okay. Everybody want to be the king, but don't know how to operate like a king. Because a real true king, first of all, is going to have wise counsel around him because he realizes that he can't make these decisions on his own. A good and wise king will be able to listen to the people because these are the people that he is supposed to protect and govern over. That's my idea of a good king. There are some other people who feel like being a good king is keeping motherfuckers keeping a foot on motherfuckers' necks to where they can't breathe. Some people believe that's good king shit. Some people believe in creating a system that oppresses people and then gets people to fight amongst each other and then profit off of the fear and hate. Some people think that's some king shit. But at the end of the day, it's really the power of the people, and that's the problem. You have people that are living in America that are complaining about their experience of living in America, and they're being told to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up or assimilate. Shut the fuck up and assimilate. Do what you're told. Everybody else doing it, so no. Okay. Let me continue forward. Let me look at some of these comments. Yes, he got me. Let me tell you something about Ron. Ron ass knows how to get views. That's why a part of me is feeling like, are you really trolling? Cause I'm like, at this point, nigga, I already told you, nigga, if you trolling, I'm cash apping you, bro. Cause that's some good acting, and I love when you can act your ass off, bitch. I let you put the head in, and that's it. Cause I ain't no bottom, bitch. I am a boy, Damon. Another Ron says, in my opinion, I believe the reason why these social media influencers suddenly subscribe to the Conservative Party is because this is the easiest way to get a bag. I mean, that could possibly be the case. I don't know if that's the case. I would love to have a conversation with Ron, not person, but just in real time to figure that out. But I mean, I could see that being the case. You know, according to the Bible, what a lot of Christian people didn't say, what profits a man to gain the world but then lose his soul? I don't know. And in the words of Alexis K. Tyler, bitch, sold your soul for promises and gold through your booty hole. Shout out to Queen Drip. Queen Drip is about attention for people like him. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. I would like to figure that out. Donna said doing too merch. It definitely worked for Candace Owens. And you know what? When I started doing some research for Candace Owens, because I was trying to find some clips to include, once again, in the custom documentary that I put out, please, if you haven't seen it yet, please take the time out to listen to it. It's heavily edited as far as the visual and audio in certain parts because YouTube would not let me upload it. But these parts I feel like were imperative and integral in reference to building a foundation of understanding, because that documentary that I made was to help people like Ron and people like Candace, who I feel, and I think Ron, you mentioned this in one of my previous videos about Ron, how there are certain people who are black who are rejected from the African American black experience and feel some type of way about that. And I'm trying my best to like really be as open-minded as I can with Ron and Candace, but that comment that you left kind of does starting to make a little bit of sense to me. That's why I'm doing things in reference to what is it? Oh, you did comment on the Ron. I'm still tired, y'all. Okay. When I was doing my research on Candace Owens, I found some very interesting stuff out about her. To where she had a racist experience, I believe. And then a shift happened to where I guess she just decided to join the Republican Party. I don't know. I don't know if it's because people said attention. I don't know if it's because of affirmation from them. Because I can understand Oh, that's what I was saying originally. Thank God. Thank you, universe. See how the universe work, girl? It's BubzDaGawd way, girl. But we get back on topic. Okay, we might go around the block a little bit, girl. But I trust me, I got the gas for it and the gas money to do it. I'm alright. But that's why I'm trying to understand the intersections of blackness, which tonight at 7:30 p.m. I'm going live with Aries, and we're supposed to be talking about the intersections of blackness in the Afro Latino community, and that there's racism being expressed in some place other than America. It's like, oh wow, there's so much of that going on. But that's why I'm trying my best to understand. And what I'm starting to understand is that there's a lot of fear there, and I just want to know why. I'm gonna have to continue to shut up because we got to get through the rest of this damn video, y'all. I told y'all I can take 18 minutes and transmute that shit to 12 hours. That's the power of the flow and the weed. It doesn't make any sense when conservative, queer, and trans people of color make statements about children being exposed to the LGBTQIA community. But that's the thing too. Like, I don't know if it's the fact of we're proving that we're not those type of gays. Like, I'm not that type of gay. Like the same thing with Christian Walker. Like, Christian Walker said he never had sex before, which I know you lying. I know you had some dick, nigga. Come on. But Christian Walker said he didn't have sex. He was talking about all this explicit stuff about gays having sex behind dumpsters and all types of shit or whatever. And he's actually afraid to have a sexual experience with a man. And that's why it's like interesting with like individuals like Ron and Christian who do say that they still identify as gay. Like, when they go to these Republican conventions, like, I would love for them to walk around and ask some of the members of the Republican Party, like, how do you feel about gay people? Like, I'm a black gay man. Do you feel like it's right for me? Like, do you think I should get married? Do you think that I should be able to have children? Do you think that I should be able to have a family? Do you think that I should be able to live the American dream like everybody else? I would wonder what they would say. Like, that's the type of content I would love for other people to do. Like, especially a lot of queer conservatives. I would love for them, like, dispel some of the stuff to be like, hey guys, whatever is being told by the Democrats, whatever's being told by liberal people, whatever's being told by people who believe in social issues, they're fucking lying. They love the gays over here. They love us even more. We get tax breaks and all that shit. Like, let us know. For real. And I wonder if that would happen. But I don't think it's going to happen. Because I don't know if it would destroy this illusion of acceptance. I don't know. I don't. A lot of these things I'm saying are things that I can say that I'm ignorant in. I don't know because Ron has not explained it to us. So all we can do is assume. All we can do is guess. All we can do is just think. I just want him to start answering questions. And I'm willing to answer questions too. Stop arguing with people who are just going to argue back and support this false sense of security, like, oh, look, I told you, and actually have a conversation with somebody who can really get down with it and see where the truth lies. That's what they don't want you to do. And I hope that you break the mold and actually do it. Let's continue.
You think that you guys should aim to be something more than just on fucking Bigo, than just on TikTok live streams, than just on Facebook, than just on Zeus Network talking about a baddies, than just on Twitter shaking your bare ass, like getting sexual validation, but then getting mad at people when you're in these low vibrational moods because no one sees the best in you other than what you're projecting out in the world. Midterms, I voted for a red governor, Senate, House, all of that. I voted completely red. I posted my posts on my social medias, my Instagram and my Facebook and my Twitter. I've had people comment talking about, oh, well, I hope you feel proud that you helped ran Alabama as a state straight into the ground. First of all, I'm running Alabama into the ground because I believe that Alabama, as well as the whole entire America, should be led with God first. Should be led that should be no abortion. Should be led that kids should stay in the kids' place. And
By the way, I am not making those edits. Y'all hear that little edit cut? Let's hear it again. Let's hear it again. Hold on.
Alabama, as well as the whole entire America, should be led with God first. Should be led that should be no abortion. Should be led that.
Listen, I didn't make that edit, and that's one thing that I can appreciate about Ron. Ron ass be getting attacked by Andrew Caldwell too, girl. I ain't the only one. Hopefully that can be our similarity in bond and shit. Cause baby, Andrew Caldwell be coming for all of us, girl. America's girl. I hear it. I hear the Andrew Caldwell-ism, girl. We gonna have to bind that hoe up like Freddy Krueger. Like Ron, I need you to come with me. It's a few other motherfucking slow tongue ass niggas like us. We need to go ahead and bind him, okay? Burn him up. Turn that russet potato into some French fries and give it to a homeless person, okay? I'm just saying I hear it and I appreciate it. Shout out to the people being themselves. Okay, stuttering and all, girl. I will stutter on your ass in a minute, girl. I will stutter on you like a goddamn river dancer.
That kids should stay in a kid's place, and LGBT issues should not be pushed onto them by their teachers, and then they do not have to come home and tell me about it because the gay agenda exists. Which, if you watch my last video, you know that I've said the gay agenda like 20 different times. I believe in it. I was once very radical, a radical homosexual, but now I'm not. I'm just a regular person. I only have to claim to be gay for the sake of making this content, but outside of this content, I don't give a fuck about telling people that I sleep with men. I don't give a fuck about telling people that.
But Ron, we talking about when you get married. We're talking about when you decide you want to have a family. We're talking about when when you're so in love with someone that has just come into your life and just radically blessed it to where now you want to share this information with family members and friends and associates and stuff like imagine with me. You're at the Republican convention, girl. Trump ass is running for president, girl. And let's say hypothetically, girl. Thank God it's hypothetical, but anything can happen, girl. Trump ass becomes president again. There are gonna be people celebrating. Oh my God, yes! Down in the goddamn champagne. There's gonna be couples kissing and hugging and being so excited. Are you gonna be able to do the same thing in the midst of all these people and feel accepted in that? Are you going to be able to have the luxury and the privilege that is born to you from freedom of expression, because this is a great country, right? Make America great again. Do you feel that your experience is a part of that great again aspect? Hold on, girl, get this damn this mic and shit. Do you feel like the great again aspect includes the totality of that? Yes, we know you fucking your husband, but my thing is, we know that your future husband, your partner, is more than just sex. This is your life partner. This is your hopefully your best friend. This is someone that you're connected to. This is someone that you build with besides the sexual aspect. Do you think that you can be able to go to an event, a Republican event, and hold your boyfriend's hand and be like, yes, Trump, yes, and nobody would feel no type of way about it? I mean, that might be the case. I haven't been to a Republican convention, never been to a Democratic one, to be honest, but I've never been to any of these conventions. Are there queer conservatives that are able to express who they are? And I ain't talking about the feminine aspect, because I feel like that's the problem. They don't mind masculine gay men. They don't mind gay men that can assimilate and blend in with society. But those who are flamboyant or have more feminine energy, those are the ones that I feel that are being oppressed, and that I feel are the ones that y'all don't want people around. So again, like, there's so much. Ryan, you have close to 100,000 subscribers, bro. This is the time to really educate your platform about the reality of what the Republican Party is giving to black queer people. If you have that information, why not share that information? Why not go to the places and spaces where there are quote unquote oppressed people and explain to them how the Republican Party has has did some Harriet Tubman shit, girl, with no seasoning, and just come on. Come on, guys, over here. It's so much better. Like, what makes it so much better? And no tea, no shade, but all facts, objectively speaking, you're failing at that, Ron. I think you're failing in your reference of you explaining yourself, because it seems like this whole political shift happened because of a certain few things, to the point to where you don't even want to be associated with that. And what I think queer people or the oppressed people are asking you, or trying to figure out, at least I am, how did you get to that point to where you are quote unquote free? There are free people that are asking how to be free. So how did you become free from that? And especially with being a Christian, shouldn't you be able to share the gospel? Was that Roki? Isn't sharing the good news a part of the Christian faith? To go therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Oh my God, the devil knows the Bible. Oh shit. Okay, I think we already said that. There is a conservative YouTube influencer by the name of Blair White. She is transgendered, and she interviews random people on the street and asks them, how many genders are there? And that's all that you wrote, Ron. If you could possibly finish the rest of it. Okay, y'all, let's continue with the rest of this commentary, y'all, because I'm getting tired. I am so sleepy. It's not even funny.
I'm black, even though you can see that I'm black, but that's not a defining characteristic for me. Like 99.9% of these homosexuals out here in America now. And the reason I pinpoint on America is because America sets the tone for the rest of the world. So if we allow this bullshit to go on in America, people all around the world are just going to follow suit. Maybe not countries like China, who allow all of this bullshit on TikTok. They allow women to be half naked. They allow kids to be half naked and say the dumbest shit. But as soon as I come on TikTok with my platform, I'm on the brink of getting banned. All because I'm calling out common sense. That's why I don't fuck with TikTok no more. And I understand now why people like Candace Owens talk against TikTok, because they will let Americans perpetuate these stupid ideas on our youth and on our entire American nation, knowing good and well they would not let a man in a wig have influence over in China. The same way with Africa and all these different places. It is a problem when Americans evoke freedom of speech to simply say what's right and what's wrong. But we have people in Canada, I mean, not Canada, we have people in Africa and people in China and Russia who are not playing around with this bullshit. And you can see how, example, for China, they're focused on economy, not social issues. Why don't people understand that's all I'm preaching? Economy and not social issues.
The reason why that's the reason why social issues are important, is because with America, like you said, being the leaders of this world, the everybody else follows. It's a very capitalistic system. So of course, for the Republican Party and a lot of people who think that way in reference to money, that's what they want. They want the money. How do we get the money? And what's happening is that the money is being made on the backs of oppressed people. That's why these social issues happen. Y'all want people to shut the fuck up. Like you said, on a plantation, ain't no rights. Ain't no, what you mean rights? You are a slave. You are not even seen as a human being. You are a part of the system. You are part of the integral part that keeps the system going. You are the blood, sweat, and tears that helps to keep this system well lubricated. And I think another reason why China, because I think China has a very big porn boom over there as well. So sex is being shown over there. I think China, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, they're known for having the largest rate of plastic surgery. So there's a lot of quote unquote vain things that are happening in America that's happening over in China. I mean, hell, America is being influenced by China, is it not? And also too, TikTok, Instagram, all these things are just showing people who they are. And a lot of people are getting called out for who they are and don't like being called out for it. Now I get it. Everybody has the right to freedom of speech. I would never ever want to ban any of Ron's stuff. Because I feel like when you ban and you ignore people, you push them to such extreme lengths to where they're so hurt to where now they're going to hurt other people. But that's the problem. Everybody all around, in my opinion, on both sides are hurt people trying to hurt people. And it's kind of like a reverse Uno card, no shade, because all of the oppressors are understanding what oppression feels like. That's the real gag. That the karmatic boomerang that white Christ was supposed to repel and throw away and block it. Jesus, God blocked it. Blocked it on out of existence, girl. Like God, white Christ was just gonna Thanos snap, girl, and exclude him and exclude y'all from the karmatic boomerang, girl. If you read the Bible says that God is not a respecter of person. God don't care about title, affiliation, or don't care about that. Baby, God the type of person where we dial one number, all the phones ring, girl. And if the phone rings for you, you got to answer it. And that's the problem. People who are the oppressors feel some type of way of being oppressed because they can't oppress no more. That's why I titled the name of this live, That's Why History is Important. Because with black people, for decades, for a very long time, for centuries, have been denied. And now the karmatic boomerang is making the oppressed people feel the slight energy of what actual oppressed people have felt. And trust me, white America, the oppression that they feel is literally scratching the tip of the iceberg of the oppression that black people, that queer people, that women's right, that anti-war, anti-capitalistic rights, equality for everybody's rights, girl. They're starting to feel what that feels like. And maybe it would be better to just simplify it like this. Welcome to what it's like being a nigga. Welcome to niggerdom, y'all. Y'all take a pamphlet, girl. I know y'all kind of shook a little, bothered a little bit. It's okay, girl. Sit down. We got some Kool-Aid over here. Now, if your feet start tingling, we got some water to dilute it. Okay? We got motherfucking soul food over there. We got motherfucking seafood over there. You know, we got some shit y'all never had for seasoning, girl. We got all this stuff. Girl, we got motherfucking weave and shit. You want some shit sewn in? We got that. We got nails, legs, hips, and body over here. A lot of ass over here. You know, we got a lot of nigga shit over here. You want a daishiki? Girl. Welcome. 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 Welcome me, welcome you.
Mixed with God, not social issues. Men who wear wigs should not be able to go into a women's restroom. I don't care how people try to twist that. It's common sense. Just because you are a woman and who got a buzz cut does not mean that you can magically say that men can have babies, because men cannot have babies. I have a thing. I cannot have babies. Why am I getting chastised on the internet for a common fucking sense? Because I'm not choosing to protect people with mental illness, these mental transformer issues. One day I'm a girl, one day I'm a boy. One day I'm a boy, next day I'm an it.
But doesn't the Christian faith ask for y'all to step in for those who are mentally ill, those who don't know? I mean, didn't Christ talk to the mentally ill? Didn't Christ walk with those that society deemed to be mentally ill and unstable and just all the way fucked up? Why was Christ able to establish it and was able to do it, but y'all over there struggling to do it? Where is that power that y'all say y'all have? Oh, the power is called love. Nothing you're saying, Ron, is from a loving nature. Nothing that you have been shared has been from a loving nature. The way and the verbiage, it's kind of like how you feel when people just automatically label you a coon or like, I haven't done that. I'm not gonna call you that. If anything, I'm trying to understand your unique expression of blackness, right? That's all I'm trying to do. But the fact that these people are now labeling you and saying hurtful things to you, it doesn't feel good, does it? You know those things about you are not true, right? You know those things aren't. These people are perpetuating these things onto you that you feel within yourself that you are not. So once again, what's happening is that there's a projection, there's a mirror projection going on back and forth and forth and back that continues to reinforce everybody's false fear-based narrative about the other person. That's how things like genocide are created. That's how things like witch hunts and mob hunts are created. And again, historically speaking, with LGBT people, especially trans people, if we look at the totem pole of LGBT, unfortunately, trans people are at the bottom. And let's talk about the LGBT community. Once again, I remember there was a person who was running for president, who I think was once the governor or something of Indiana. I think his last name was Budapest or something. Girl, he gay. Your name is Budapest, bitch. Booty peg, girl. Anyway, there was this panel that was created of queer people from all queer aspects of queerness, gay, lesbian, trans, intersex, asexual, whatever the case may be, just, a wide spectrum of the community. And they were asking each of these people their political viewpoints, their expressions. There were some who were Republican, Democrat, whoop-de-whoop. What made it very interesting is that there was a person there who was non-gender, I think it was non-binary, non-gender conforming, right? And they were saying how they felt oppressed, they felt alienated, they felt this, they felt that. And there was a trans woman there, and she felt completely offended by this person who is intersex saying that they don't identify as any gender. They just identify as themselves. And the trans woman, who was a trans woman of color at that, was saying how her expression was harmful to the trans, for the education of the trans experience, because it's like, it's one thing to try to get people to understand, okay, what transness is. Here it is, you bring your non-gender conforming ass over here, and now you saying you don't identify as nothing. Girl, but that's what I'm saying. The more that groups of people are oppressed, the more there will be a birth of other groups of people. Every oppressed group of people end up, how should I say this, learning the behaviors of the oppressor to feel some sense of freedom, and they create that system within their own community to where now there's a hierarchy in the community. Again, the LGBT community. And we can take it bigger to the black community. LGBT people are at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to blackness. Whenever you have literal people now, you have Lance Scurv, you have Irritated Genie, Dr. Umar Johnson, you have all these Pan-African Hotep ass people that automatically, whenever there's an LGBT experience or expression in blackness, all of a sudden it's a gay agenda. Not the fact that there are LGBT people in the black community and also deserve representation. That representation is always demonized, always ostracized, and always othered, so that people don't have to understand it. Why understand something that is being labeled evil? Why understand something that's being labeled as demonic? Why understand something that's being labeled as deviant? Why take the time out to understand that when it's easier for me to just throw the label of demon on it, the label of sexual immorality on it, Throw the label of all this other type of shit and leave it alone. I don't have to deal with it. It's already dealt with. But then when it comes into close proximity to you, because what you resist is going to always persist, now when it's in your damn face, all of a sudden we can't motherfucking handle it. Not my son, not my daughter, not my child, not my brother, not my father, not my mother, not my grandfather, not my boss, not my pastor, not my deacon, not my first lady. And literally be gagging when the reality hits. That's why I'm doing my commentary, to help bring context and nuance so that we can learn to stop being afraid of each other. And if we work through that fear, I promise you, there are so many similarities that we can build upon and strengthen in each other, as opposed to the things that make it. How about we learn to love the similarities that we all have, but honor the differences? That's it. I feel like I don't know about everybody else, but I could be friends with somebody who has a different political viewpoint on that. And I'd rather do that, because now they have to deal with the reality of what they believe and the reality of what they see. And then however they work that out is between them and God. Because contrary to what people believe, people are going to live their life regardless. And that is the part that has people fucked up. Because once again, you have people that are quote unquote not assimilating, that are living their best motherfucking life, that are choosing to take off the chains of oppression from themselves and then express that into the world and then inspire other people to do it. It's kind of like during the time of Harriet Tubman. I'm pretty sure Harriet let niggas know when she was gonna leave. I'm pretty sure there was niggas who was saying, bitch, don't do that, because if your ass get caught and they fuck you up, and them fucking you up doesn't seem very satisfying to them, girl, guess what? One of us gonna get fucked up. There are some people who are just, and I'm not saying Ron is, again, I'm using Ron as a conduit. There are a lot of people out there who are afraid of the unknown, and that's the thing. We be so afraid of what we don't know, as opposed to being afraid of what we do know. A lot of people want to put their energy into the fear of what it could be, as opposed to dealing with the fear of what it actually is. And the fear that we share is literally going to manifest those things in ways that you would never imagine. I feel like if people really want to stop this whole LGBT quote unquote gay agenda and gay expression and gay life and gay experience on television, in movies and all this stuff, then simply educate yourself about it. Because again, what you resist is going to always persist, because you're giving your energy into what you don't want, and what you don't want is literally manifesting in front of you. Of course, I would be scared and terrified if all the shit that I was afraid of was manifesting in front of me, not realizing that the reason why it's manifesting is because I'm giving it that fear. I'm giving it that energy through fear. Love and fear is on the opposite spectrum sides of each other, but both of them motherfuckers are powerful. And unfortunately, in the world we live in, especially in America, we are driven by fear, to where we can't even be accountable for our own shit and talk our own shit out. Now, if you say what you're going to say what you mean and mean what you say, but don't be mean when you say it. There are ways to get your point across. Okay, y'all, let's try to finish this up.
This time I'm a dragoon. Like, it's common sense. Straight women and straight men, and at this point, every fucking body, including me as a gay person, we have to sit here and endure all of this bullshit from the gay agenda, these radical LGBT transformer homosexuals, on how LGBT issues need to be taught in school. We need gay characters on these cartoons, because kids need to know that it is okay for another man to be with a man. They're not
is being created because, just like myself and just like a lot of LGBT people, and I wonder if it's the same thing for you, knew that they were gay at a very young age. Yes, there are some people who were touched and abused, but that's not my experience, so I ain't gonna speak on that. I was never touched or abused. Again, grew up in a heterosexual household, heterosexual representation. I'm talking about old school Disney. I'm talking about the original Lion King one. I don't know about two, girl. Lion King. I'm talking about what's some other shit? Beauty and the Beast, Pocahontas. I'm talking about Toy Story. I'm talking about All Dogs Go to Heaven. I'm talking about Cats Don't Dance. I'm talking about what else? I don't know. Maybe the Cheetah Girls made me gay. I don't know. Uh, I'm talking about all these old school classic ass Disney films that always expressed a heterosexuality type of love and expression. Again, you had what? Simba and Nala together. You had Hercules and that one chick together. I don't remember the bitch name. Hell, you had Beauty and the Beast, girl. Even the Beast was getting some goddamn some slot play. He was bloody roaring her ass, okay? In beast form and out of beast form, lycanthrope, underworlding her ass. All these different films that expressed heterosexual love. But now that we understand that there is gay awareness, there are also gay children, trans children that know what the fuck it is, girl. And instead of them having to grow up in a fearful world like I did and those before us, when you're actually making progress and actually making change to actually make it better for the next generation so that they don't have to go through the same shit that you went through. So yes, it's to the point to where when you have gay kids, instead of them having a fearful awareness of their reality, at least now they have the ability to be able to look and see that there are people in the world who understand them. And because of that expression, it's going to help lessen the self-deletion rate, the ideations of taking yourself out, the depression rate, because somebody understands me. Somebody understands me. That's the point of it. But again, because y'all not willing to educate yourselves and actually have real conversations with people like myself, y'all get to continue to strengthen again the fear narrative that makes a lot of people feel comfortable in who they are, not realizing that they are spewing vitriolic hate. Because once again, if what you were saying was truth, it would be building people up. It will be building up the light inside of them. Didn't the Bible say, if I be lifted up from the earth, I draw all men unto me? Where is that light energy? And that light energy, at least to me, and I could be wrong, is not being expressed. That's why I'm asking questions, so that I can understand, because you do have a light in you, Ron. I don't believe that you are useless. I don't believe that you are not worthy. You are worthy of the best life, the best love, the best Ron Vugada experience. But the elements and all the things that are at play here are trying to help you understand that. So drop the link. That's all I'm saying. At this point, why everybody so scared? Why everybody want to say, oh, girl, this and that, and girl, oh, this, and you saying all this, girl, and what about this, and ask them this, girl, and what about that, and oh, they doing this, what? Why don't you ask them that? Why don't? And then when they come in the room to be asked that, all of a sudden, girl, it's hush mode. It's crickets chirping, or it's blocking. Like, we all have a purpose, girl, and I'm serving mine. No shade.
Now trying to say that babies now know what their gender is before they even come out into the world. They know what their gender is in the womb. Okay, if they know what their gender is in the womb, then why are we so pressed on forcing them to? Why are we seeking validation from little 5-year-old kids to affirm that if they see a man in a wig, they must be taught home training to say that it is a woman? No, I will not teach my kids that.
Or maybe it's the fact of just trying to teach people how to respect the expressions of other people, because guess what? Not everybody inside of this house is going to be the same. You have to go out into the world and survive in the world. We're all on planet Earth together. So we all got to figure out a way to not tolerate each other, but actually respect each other. Maybe these things are happening to teach people respect so that they don't keep perpetuating the same shit they've been doing for the longest time. To really value all lives. Because remember, all lives matter, right? All lives. So if all lives matter, what is wrong with actually manifesting and expressing that and walking that out, if that is what is so powerful and that y'all believe?
Bullshit. And if I come into that situation where a transformer wants to oppress my child into believing that I'm so tired of having to say this same common sense that men cannot have kids. Just because you are a woman and you get a buzz cut and you get slashes in your eyebrows and you get a sleeve of tattoos does not mean that magically we're going to defy science and say that men can have kids. Just because a man shaves his beard, in a lot of cases they don't even care about shaving no more. They don't even care about the aesthetic. But let's get into it. Just because a man sits here and has the aesthetic of passing as a woman does not mean that you're a woman. There's a study that shows that just because you get surgery, you get your titties chopped off, you get your penis cut, you're still going to be at a high rate of suicide because you're still not complete. Want to know why? It is a mental illness, and you need to get some conversion therapy. You need to go to a church and pray to your pastor. You need to get around your Christian family and tell them that I'm open to common sense now. I tried to do it my way. I need another way to do this life thing because my way is still causing me hurt, confusion, and I'm not getting anywhere. I'm still only being fetishized for sex. I still only can make OnlyFans content, which now I have to drop it from $3.99 to 99 cents so I can remain a top 1% creator. I still have to snatch all of these DL men, which I don't understand where all these DL men are coming from. I don't think that DL men are actually real. I think that people are just trying to force their gay agenda on men, straight men in particular, to accept some fantasy idea that just because it's an aesthetic of a woman means that it is a woman. I've heard LGBT people tell me that you can still be straight if you lay with a transformer, but you're completely gay if you lay with a man. It's so confusing. It's so weird having to.
Okay, girl, but let's break it down then. Listen, at least to me, what makes your ass gay is the fact that you are physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually attracted to the same sex. Again, what makes you gay, the core basis, the foundation, the genesis of being gay is that you are physically, okay, mentally, okay, emotionally, and spiritually attracted to the same sex. At the end of the day, whether you want to believe that trans women are not women, you don't have to see them as women. There are people in the world that are going to see them as women. And there are some people out there that are trans attracted. If anything, it just shows that no matter what expression of life that you're living, that there is always going to be someone there who is going to love you, who is going to understand you, and who is going to accept you. That is the totality of God, covering everybody, covering every outlet and every expression of God on the earth. I know that's scary for me to say because for a lot of people, the Bible is their comfort zone and their place, but I'm telling you, there is so much life outside of that book too. And despite a lot of people believing that the only true things that have happened in the world, for real, that are worthy of mentioning for so long is what happened in this book, but there are people in the world that are literally manifesting what's in that book in real time right now, in different ways right now. And most importantly, the theme of that was love, because love is understanding. Again, you want someone to understand your side. You want someone to understand your viewpoint and your perspective. And you still want to have your experience on planet Earth be affirmed by other people too. You're going to have to give that in order to get that. And there are people in the world who are going to get that. And once again, a lot of people can't be mad and be cussing Ron out and calling him all these things, because we have to also take into account that Ron is speaking from his experience, and he has a right to share that experience, because everybody's experiences are not going to always be the same. You're going to have people that are going to have different experiences. It's about listening to other people's experiences and finding the gray area of commonality there. That's where we start getting to this human being aspect. I appreciate everybody having their viewpoint and perspective about how we can get there, girl, but we actually have to start walking out what it is that we're saying. No shade.
To dumb down my intelligence to make sense of this. You're straight if you lay with a chick with a dick. You're still a straight man, but you're a gay man if you lay with a man without a wig and a dick. You're gay then, but you're straight if you have the aesthetic of... I have a key important role in helping shape America into being a great nation again, not letting people like the Democrats run it around and run it into the ground into some fantasy Hollywood experience for the whole entire world to watch us and be like, yeah, those people in America, they have completely lost their bullshit. Younger people are starting to realize voting for Democrats means that I have to sign up for Hollywood. I have to sign up for men using restrooms with my daughter. I have to sign up for CPS coming at my door because I simply don't want to affirm the fact that my daughter says she wants to chop her titties off at 12 and become a man. Maybe that's why younger people aren't signing up for the Democratic BS anymore. To the people who think that I've ran Alabama into the ground, even though KIV got over 1 million votes, anywho, I want to say that you would not want to see the day that I run for governor of Alabama or I run for president of the United States, because one of the main things I will do is ban Pride Month. And even if I can't ban Pride Month as a governor in Alabama, then I'm going to go for president of the United States and I'm going to ban Pride Month. Because why are we pushing fetishes on the whole entire world? No one gives a fuck that you like to suck a dick at night. And with a lot of you homosexuals who are very trifling, you guys like to do it during the day in the backseat of a car behind someone's building when they're closed or on lunch break. This is my second video for my new series, Woke and Broke Conservative Commentary with Ron Vugada. And if you don't fuck with me, fine. You're going to end up losing in life anyway. I'm not stuck over no losers. And if you agree with me, then support my content, subscribe, share. If you're on TikTok, then find me on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, because I will not be supporting TikTok. They have taken down, I think, 5 of my videos and say that it's because I'm speaking harshly against protected attributes, which I don't understand how saying common sense towards people who have a mental illness is a protected attribute. If we're going to protect attributes, then I'm a gay person. Shouldn't I be protected to say what I want to say against my own protected attributes? There's some disillusion on freedom of speech here. Nonetheless, I love you guys. One nation under God. Trump has also announced, if you haven't been under a rock, Trump has also announced that he will be running for president. As you can see by my shirt, I will be voting for Trump. I love you guys. One nation under God. And if you got a whole bunch of bullshit to say about me, please go find the God.
All right, y'all. He wants us to find the God, girl. Let me get this music together. Hold on. Yeah, we still good. Okay, I'm glad it's still at the volume level. Shout out to Ron for his commentary, y'all. Ron, if you're listening to this, which I hope you have, you probably not. It'll probably be easier to just write me off as just another person who's talking shit about you. But I just gotta hope that there's something in, that there's something inside of you that really wants to understand. Because no tea, no shade, in your first pilot episode, I believe, of Your Woke and Broke, you shared how you were trying to find out who you were. There was still a sense of identity that you were struggling with. And you expressed how you found that identity in the Republican Party. But what I have seen through your expressions on social media, because I do watch. I do watch. I do. First of all, I'm not no hating ass nigga, so there's nothing for me to hate on. No shade. I'm not being funny. I love myself so much to where I don't have to be pressed about anybody else for real, for real. I'm just responding to the commentary because when you say things like that, I want you to understand, oh, I'm going to ban Pride Month and having such this authoritarian, how do you say it, Lord? Authoritarian? Girl, this supremacist type of ideology of trying to silence a group of people, that's how shit like what happened last night at that club shooting happens. Because there are literally people in the world who are so fearful and so hateful towards another group of people that they would literally take them out because they feel like that's such an extreme measure they have to do in order to break this quote unquote disillusion that these people have on American society and low-key the world, according to y'all. See, everybody has what's known as the solutions but don't have the steps to get to the solution. And I don't know everything, but yet I'm trying to create conversations in my own way in different areas where these conversations are not happening so that we can do our part and come together for real. People want to bypass the process to healing, want to bypass the process to the manifestation, but don't want to go through what's required to get to the manifestation. And it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy. But that's why love, grace, and mercy is afforded to everybody. I mean, what I'm saying is not new, Ron. You're part of the Christian faith. This is what is being taught, I hope. So it should sound familiar to you. But it's the expression of love because love includes people. And we're living in a world now, in a system now, where they're showing that there are certain lives that are valued, certain lives that are desirable. That's why a lot of people are working their asses off in such negative ways to obtain a level or a status of being that they believe is going to make them exempt from all the shit that the quote-unquote common people, the poor people, the basic people, the oppressed people experience. And we all, I feel, deep down inside, know it. We just live in a world where we deny it. What's wrong with being honest about how we feel? That's why my commentary is not meant to attack Ron as a person. I'm addressing his viewpoints, and I appreciate him being honest and talking with his passion. He has a right to do that. But also understand that when you say certain things that can be considered hate, people are going to check you. Like if I got up here and said some shit that was questionable, I'm not going to be exempt from being challenged or exempt from being called the fuck out. We all are going to have that experience. But the question is, how do we move forward collectively? Because the Republican Party, in my opinion, they don't have the answers. The Democratic Party, in my opinion, don't have the answers. The answers are going to come from the people because the people put these motherfuckers in positions of power to govern this country. That's how it works. And it's being abused. And if we really are the United States of America, the land of the free, and the home of the motherfucking brave, then what's wrong with us actually manifesting that out? We keep continuing to perpetuate this whole cycle of shit. to keep us arguing with each other and getting mad at each other and not being validated with each other, but at the same time ignore invitations to where you can be validated. That shows that you're playing a part in the system and being a part of the problem because it feels comfortable for you. But that's okay, because thank God there are people in the world who are willing to put the work in to try to help other people understand it. Like Jane Elliott, this older white woman who has been educating white people on racism and having the uncomfortable conversations with them that they probably wouldn't have with someone like me, because the color of my skin and the defense of their white fragility girl makes them feel some type of way. But when they're challenged by someone of their own, it's a deeper thing, and they'll be able to reach certain areas and levels that my black ass would never be able to reach. So as a black, same gender loving man like yourself, I feel like this is an opportunity to have a conversation of better understanding. And we may not agree on everything, that's cool, but how do we establish a foundation of respect at least? To where if a motherfucker walking outside their house and living in their truth, you won't get triggered by it. And to be able to raise your children and help other children realize, hey, if that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. It's not affecting you, so why are you worried about it? We have a lot of work to do, and it's going to take all of us from all different areas and aspects and viewpoints to come together and to make sense of what's affecting all of us objectively. And until we do that, there unfortunately will be this continuation of people arguing with each other, yelling at each other, screaming at each other, not valuing each other's experiences, destroying everything. We have to be the change that we seek, y'all. It takes us. And all I'm going to do is my part. So anyway, y'all, I thank y'all for listening to today's live. I'm so glad it's over with. I got one more live to do, and then I'm going to bed. I was supposed to be editing some stuff for a friend of mine this weekend. I'm going to start that shit tomorrow. No shade. I'm sorry. I got to sleep. I got to rest and get myself up, because if I'm not good for myself, I ain't going to be able to accomplish anything. Make sure y'all come through later on tonight at 7:30, where me and Aries will be put on the screen. Me and Aries are going to be talking about racism and the intersections of blackness, okay, from an Afro-Latino experience. We're going to get Jerson's some of his background story of being raised in Guatemala and the experiences that he felt in reference to racism because of the color of his skin, and kind of talking about the contrast from the racism he felt in Guatemala and the racism here in America. And I feel like it's going to be a very interesting conversation, so make sure y'all come back for that. And yeah, Ron, like I said, bruh, you welcome to the platform anytime. There's no hate, malice, nothing in my heart. If anything, more so love and trying to understand. No shade, no shade, no shade. Please share this video. Please, please, please also share the documentary that I created, the custom doc called Racism is Dead. Please share that. If it's one thing that I would want you to do, this would be the ultimate Christmas gift to me. You ain't got to cash at me. You ain't got to do nothing. Just share my content. Like my content and share my content so that we can continue to have the conversations that are needed, so that this generation and the generation afterwards can really live in a place of equality and peace. There are other countries in the world that understand each other, accept each other, listen to each other, and society, because of that, is so much better. And if other countries outside of us, especially with us being America #1, if there are other countries that are able to manifest this American dream that everybody else has, then I think it's time for us in America to wake the fuck up and actually goddamn do it and realize it's going to take all of us. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have the rest of a good afternoon, and I'll see y'all later at 7:30. Peace.